This
get
conference will now
into
be recorded.
presentation mode, as they say. And we're going to have a couple of speakers today, so I will get to that here shortly. Guys, listen, welcome to the NTI meeting leader call. And actually, it's a leadership call, regardless of whether you're just a meeting leader or you may be, in any other role of leadership. So there's that for you. But just welcome to everybody. So glad that you're here. A little conference call etiquette for everybody, if you don't mind. If you would mute your phone line, if you don't know if you're muted or not, please don't eat. This is not a great time to use the bathroom. If you've got young children around, this may not be the best time to yell at the small children. Answer the door when the Kirby vacuum guy comes and knocking. Definitely don't take another call. If you don't know if you're muted, because then we hear you say, yeah, I'm on this conference call, and I got to be on this conference call. We don't want to hear that. And definitely don't talk bad about the call host, okay? He's a really nice guy, and he's so happy to have all of you, so don't talk bad about him, That's the thing. Welcome, especially to all the newbies that are on board. So glad to have our new meeting leaders on the call. Love you guys, and, networking today on our big journey to 15,000 meetings globally starts with every one that says, yes, I'll step up and lead a meeting. So thank you. Thank you so much for all that you do. Each and every call, I like to start it off with the idea of servant leadership. I talk quite frequently about this idea of servant leadership and what it means to be a servant leader. And according to the Center for Servant Leadership, they define it as a philosophy or a set of practices that enriches the lives of individuals, builds better organizations, what I like to say, better meeting locations, and ultimately creates a more just and caring, we could say world, and that's true, but I like to bring it down to our own individual community, okay? On our last call, we talked about being the driver, okay, and what it means as a servant leader to be the driver of your meeting, that you are the one driving it. You're the one setting the tone. You're the one setting the volume, the pitch, the energy level. You are the driver of that meeting. Today, I want to talk to you about being understanding. Out of all the characteristics we've talked about, this is an interesting one to me because I find it very difficult. Understanding is defined as an adjective, not necessarily as a noun, but as an adjective, to be sympathetically aware of other people's feelings, to be tolerant, to be forgiving. And one of the things that I've learned in my life, guys, is that people are human just like me, and they're fallible. They make mistakes. They, all of us, not they, we, people, all of us, we have flaws, man. And we come with baggage, Everyone comes with baggage. Some people are just better at masking it than others, but everyone comes with baggage. I heard a pastor say one time that it's easy to forgive when one realizes just how much one has been forgiven. I think if you think about that in your own life, think about how many times, how many things you've done wrong, how much you have been forgiven in your life. And think about that when it applies to others and being forgiving to others. In your meeting, other members that make mistakes, they don't do one-to-ones the way you want them to. They don't do business briefs the way you want them to. They don't give referrals the way you want them to. They don't participate in contests the way you want them to. They don't do everything that you want them to do the way that you want to do it. Be understanding. Be forgiving, be tolerant. People have their own individual personalities, their own individual ideologies. They're working on improving just like you are. I'm always reminded of that song that, I'm not everything I want to be, but I'm better than I used to be, right? And maybe you guys are familiar with that song. I don't even know actually if that's how it goes. It might be I'm not everything I used to be, but I'm better than I used to. I don't know. Forget, you know what I'm trying to say. We're all what I call whips, work in progresses. You know what? We've got a. I'm going to say this, okay? I'm going to summarize with a story, and then I'll move on to the next slide because we got a lot to cover today in a short amount of time. But there's a member here in the Knoxville area that was giving a business spotlight presentation at several of the Knoxville area meeting locations. And this member was, how do I put it politely, horrible. I mean, their business spotlight presentation was a disaster. It was so bad that when this member would go to other meeting locations other than my own, and this member would present, members from the other meeting location would reach out to me. And they would be like, Rich, that member should never be allowed to present at Networking Today. It was that bad. And I'd be like, no, just be patient. Just be patient. And I believe that this member will get better. You know what? This member had such a bad reputation at, I don't know if it was every single Knoxville area meeting, but it was most. So many people were talking bad about this particular member, all because of the really bad presentation skills. But you know what? This member presented at my meeting recently and knocked the cover off. Finally found her niche. Finally improved. Finally took his game to a whole nother level. And everyone in the room said, my goodness, he sure has improved. So you know what I'm saying to you? If you're a meeting leader, a part of being a servant leader in any organization is giving people the room to develop, the room to grow. We talked on, 2 or 3 or 4 calls ago now about you being a coach. And on one hand, it is kind of our responsibility as meeting leaders to coach and to guide and to give feedback and criticism and positive feedback when a member does well or a member does poorly. But one of the things sometimes that is good for us to do is take a moment, take a deep breath in, and exhale. Before you say something, before you cast judgment, before you rush to agree with others' criticism, remember that member is growing just like you, just like everyone else in the room. And be quick to be encouraging and to let people know, hey, you know what? He or she definitely did not do well in that presentation. Do you think he knows it? Do you think she knows it? And sometimes people don't have any idea of how bad they are, and they need to be told that there's room for improvement. But other times, it is good just to do nothing. Do nothing and let that member just mature in watching other people present. And then that member just might blow your mind and surprise everyone when they finally get in their own zone and develop and mature and grow. So my tip for your family, my tip for all of us in our meetings, my tip for all of us in our businesses is to be understanding, to be sympathetic, to be tolerant, to be careful of other people's feelings. And that is harder for some of us than it is for others. I'm speaking about me. I find that very difficult to be patient with people. I'm not a very patient person. And so as a servant leader here at Networking Today, I just want to take a minute to encourage every single one of us, myself included, to be understanding, to remember that when one has been forgiven and realizes how much they've been forgiven, you find it a whole lot easier to forgive others. When you think about how much you've developed, how much you've grown, it helps you be a little more patient with others as they develop, mature, and grow and become a professional networker. Networking Today is a good place to let them mature, to let them experience, to let them grow. And so be that encourager. That doesn't mean that if someone absolutely is horrible, you don't encourage them. That just means that you be understanding. Okay, moving right along. Those of you that are new to the call, or even some of you who have been around a while, I would just want to put a reminder out there that anything that you need is on Meeting Leader Support. You can email Meeting Leader Support at support@networkingtoday.intl.com, or you can go to the Meeting Leader Resources page, and there's a button where you can submit a request, or you can call. If by chance you're not getting the support you need, I hope that you will text me. Okay. Look, we've got growing pains. We're growing at an amazingly fast rate. We've got more happening than any other networking organization that I'm familiar with. And so we appreciate your patience, but also if there's something that I need to be aware of, I hope you bring it to my attention. Like literature, like if something's not being updated on the web, like if you're launching a meeting and you don't have everything you need, you don't have a kickoff flyer, you don't have something like that, just bring it to my attention. I want to help you. But don't forget, Meeting Leader Support is there for your help. And remember the new member orientation. I was at a meeting earlier today, and no one in the room even knew that we had a new member orientation that was 100% complimentary, free, comes with the membership, where you not only get updates and training and taught about the culture of Networking Today, but Terry does a really nice job at including tips on how to do a one-to-one, how to do a business brief, how to do, here's some tips and tricks of how to make a good business spotlight presentation. There are other things about networking that we teach in the new member orientation that will really improve and help everyone make the most of their Networking Today membership, but of their networking experience no matter where they are. And they can sign up for that on the NTI website at networkingtoday.intl.com. Okay? And if you have any questions about that, or a member has any questions about that, let me know. Those of you outside of the Knoxville area where you have many meeting locations around your area, you could pick someone. One of you may want to step up and be the new member orientation trainer in a given area. Terry Mock would be happy to give you the PowerPoint slides that you need. She'd be happy to teach you what you need to know. Or if not, they can come online on Zoom, GoToMeeting, Google Hangouts. There's a lot of different ways that Terry can connect with your members to give them a new member orientation. But people who have gone through new member orientation say they love it, and I believe it would be a tremendous help to a lot of our members. So I just want to encourage everybody to make sure to remind your members, especially your new members. And many of you are getting new members every week, and so make sure to remind everybody that this is free to them. Okay. I want to talk just a little bit about the NTI birthday party. There are 3 events I'm encouraging you to plan for every single year. Okay, and this will be new to some of you, but the 3 events are Memorial Day barbecue. So I would like many of you to be planning your Memorial Day 2020 barbecues even now. Get it on the calendar for when you want to do it. Line up who's going to cater. Organize what events you're going to do at your barbecue, okay? The second thing is a birthday party. Networking Today is now 6 years old. We may not be 6 in your area. We may not be 6 in your meeting, but Networking Today is 6 this year. I'm so happy that Networking Today is growing the way that it's growing. But as we grow, I was inspired from actually a Facebook post. I saw a Facebook post that someone was having their birthday, And in lieu of presents or in lieu of wishing them a happy birthday, they had said, donate to my charity. And so what we've done is we've adopted that idea, and we are having a Networking Today birthday party, and you can honor a charity. Okay, you can honor a local charity in your community, or you can raise funds for NTI Cares and all of the good work that our own charity does. But what I'm showing you on the screen, those of you that are mobile only or you're not signed in, are not able to see the screen, I'm showing you what we're doing here in Knoxville. We're charging $25 per head to come to Finn's, which is a local Irish restaurant and tavern. I believe it's Irish. I could be wrong about the Irish part, but it's a local tavern and restaurant here in the Knoxville area. And yeah, Irish. It is Irish. It says it right in the logo, for heaven's sake. Legendary Irish food. But we've rented a room. We've secured a room. We worked with the owner, let them know that we're having a charity birthday party. We're charging $25 per head. That's going to cover hors d'oeuvres and some appetizers. But then there's going to be an open bar. Okay. Now he is going to have a happy hour for us. But a vast majority of the $25 is going to go toward Volunteer Ministry Centers, which is a charity that we support here at Networking Today. They are helping end homelessness in the Knoxville area. We've made it June 28th from 5 a.m. to 8. It's an open house, so people can drop in whenever they want. It doesn't start at 5. We're going to have a silent auction. We have an event committee. That event committee has organized giveaways. So Dollywood is giving tickets away. We have all sorts of things. I don't want to bore you with all the details, but we have lots of door raffles. We have the silent auction where people have donated items that we can auction off, and all of that will go toward a local ministry that we're working hard to support in ending homelessness right here in Knoxville. And all 9-10 meeting locations in the greater Knoxville area are participating, and every meeting leader is on board and participating. And we're hoping for, 100, maybe 150 people, 125, 75 people. But if we could get people to come out to the birthday party this Friday night, then it's a way for us to raise funds. And we've been promoting it everywhere, and even created a Facebook event and have been promoting it all over Facebook. Now, why am I going on and saying this? Because if you've not planned a birthday party before, I would encourage you to get in touch with our event committee. You can email them, reach out to them. But I've also made a slide, okay, that is Networking Today International Birthday without the text on the bottom. It's all gray in the bottom. And that image can be found at the Meeting Leader Resources page, where you can fill in your own information. You can put in your own date, your own time, your own giveaway, your own meeting location for the birthday party, et cetera, et cetera. And this is something that we can do as a charitable event that, like the Memorial Day barbecue, I'm encouraging meeting locations across the country to get on board with throwing a birthday party. Doesn't matter if you only have 8 members, 5 members, or 55 members, or 80 members. Doesn't matter. You can get involved in throwing a birthday party and make it focused on a charity that you can support either globally for Networking Today, or if there's a local charity you're supporting there in your local community, then get behind them. That's fine too. Either way, it's a wonderful event, a wonderful opportunity. And if you've not planned one yet for the month of June, then maybe look at planning one for a birthday party in 2020. That is perfectly fine as well. You don't have to jam it in, this year. But sometime toward the end of June 2020 is when you should be planning your next one. Just kind of get it on the radar, get it out there, begin talking about it, that sort of thing. Now, the third one is a Thanksgiving meal, okay? There is no greater holiday in my mind than Thanksgiving. And here it is, June. We're about to enter into July. Half the year, for the most part, is over, and we're getting ready to head into, as we are in the middle of summer, obviously, but we're nearing getting into fall. And that is when we begin heading into being thankful, okay, for our members, thankful for our charity, thankful for what we have. And no matter what race, no matter what religion, no matter what faith, no matter what politics, political leaning you have, no matter what, no matter how tall, no matter how short, no matter what color your hair, no matter how old, everyone can find things to be thankful for. So begin planning a Thanksgiving meal with all of your people the week prior to actual Thanksgiving. So that'll happen in November, and be ready to have a Thanksgiving meal. It's a fun way just to separate from the day in and day out grind of your networking meeting and to make the focus about doing something that's fellowshipping together without necessarily having a focused networking today meeting. These three events are things that you can put in front of people and keep in front of people throughout the year that help them focus on things besides the day in and day out networking meeting itself. And it's a lot of fun, and you can get people involved, and it helps people stick to your meeting. All right. So the meetings, these events have a lot bigger purpose than just, let's have a charity. It's helping create stickiness from, your members. Those of you that are familiar with Allstate or State Farm, you might know that these organizations, Allstate and State Farm, primarily are property and casualty insurance companies. Both organizations from corporate down urge their insurance agents to get life policies and or bank accounts and or investment accounts. The reason why they do that is because the more they involve their customers with products and services that they offer, the more sticky those customers become instead of just one line. So too with these events. You can make these events sticky, and it creates uniformity, it creates a bond, it creates community, it creates a brotherhood of sorts, and creates that community of sticky members that you want to help your meeting grow and have a very solid core group of people. So if you missed a birthday party, no big deal. If you still want to throw a birthday party, I do think there's still time. You may have to do it a little off the schedule, but then you can plan for it for 2020 and make it fun, make it enjoyable. And then, but if not, get ready for what's coming up with Thanksgiving and have your eye ahead of the schedule on what you want to do for your Thanksgiving event. Okay. Now, I want to transition and talk about the Cash Mob Monday. Again, there's a blank version of Cash Mob Monday out on the Meeting Leader Resources page for you. Again, this is another event that you can do where you are encouraging all of your members and all of the members in a geographical area to come together to support local business, to network without the confines of the networking structure so that you can let your hair down, be together, fellowship, so, quote unquote, break bread together and build bonds and relationships, not in a structured one-to-one or a structured networking meeting, but an unstructured networking opportunity just to get to know people on a more laid back relationship level. We're going to Papa John's this coming Monday, and it's going to be start at 11. I'll end at 1. Anyone is welcome to come. We're going to fill their lobby. We're going to fill their parking lot. And here in the Knoxville area, all meeting locations are invited to participate and to come and join us. If no one comes, that's okay. I'm going to be there anyway. If someone does show up, great. We'll network. We'll have pizza together. We'll have a good time. And we move this around each and every month. It is a great way, again, to add that sticky layer to your members to keep them involved and engaged on a level outside of just your networking meeting. All right? But if you don't take advantage of it, if you don't do these things, you won't ever experience the effect that I'm saying that it can have on your meeting. It is, I promise you, there are meeting leaders that have embraced this idea and have seen how successful it can be to unify a body of people. And so I do encourage you to get involved with this, okay? And this is just, what I'm showing you here is just a screenshot of the blank one that is at the Meeting Leader resources that you can use. All right, moving right along. As we get ready for the Share the Kool-Aid contest, I want to remind everybody about the new member incentive program. The Share the Kool-Aid contest is going to award people cash, okay? And a couple of people will also get free annual memberships out of it. But in addition to that, every new member that joins that identifies them as the reason why they joined, every 3 members, they're going to get a $50 gift card, even during the contest period. So it is a very rewarding opportunity for you to promote how much money people can make just for doing what we all know that they should do anyway. Now, let me just say something to you guys real quick before I move on from this slide. People say to me, Rich, Networking Today doesn't have to do these contests. They say, we love Networking Today anyway. They say to me, Rich, Networking Today doesn't have to do the new member incentive program. People say this to me all the time, Rich, thank you for the gift card. You didn't have to do that. I would have brought people anyway. However, here's what's very, very interesting to me. Without it, people don't do it. Do you know that when we have a contest, we usually gain 100 to 200 new members every contest that we do? Why is it that people do that? It is because of the incentive that is there. Everyone, including me, loves a good incentive. Okay? Everyone does. I'm not alone in this. You're not alone. Everyone loves incentives. So the contest in the new member incentive program is a way to help all of us promote what it is that we're doing to reward and incentivize our members to do what they should be doing anyway. So remember that as we get into the Share the Kool-Aid contest. Now, those of you that did not hear this over the last several calls, the Kool-Aid contest, the last one we did was in 2017. And it can be fun if you, as the meeting leader, make it fun. If you, as the meeting leader, think it's goofy or silly or, just something you don't want to participate in, then no one else will in your group either. But if you go out, you see on the screen, I have a picture of the Kool-Aid jammers that I use. Now, some of you have said, well, Rich, can't I just go get the Kool-Aid powder packets? They're like 1 penny each. Okay, do that if you wish. No big deal. Or maybe they're 10 cents each. I don't even know. Do that if you wish. That is another great way to do it. But I like to give actual Kool-Aid pouches out. Okay, now I may do the powder this year. I don't know. But what you do is you take your Be Our Guest card and you staple it to the powder packet or the Kool-Aid juice pouch, okay? Aluminum or whatever that thing is. I don't even know what that's made out of. But you staple it to it. Now, on the juice ones, make sure the staple is above the juice packet, obviously. But you staple it to it, and you ask all your members to share the Kool-Aid. Share what we're doing at Networking Today. And for sharing, you not only could win $250 if you bring the most visitors, but you could win $250 if you're the one that brings the most members as well as grand prize. Second place will win $100. Third place will win $50. But that's not a bad thing. The grand prize winners will also receive a free annual membership. If they've already paid for an annual membership, they will then be extended out for a whole nother year, okay? But it starts July the 1st and runs through August the 2nd. We do this to help in the doldrums of summer. As we're in the summer months, people are taking vacations. Look, I have a guy that is a member of my particular meeting location, okay? He is one of the most faithful guys I know. He works at Tin Bank, and everyone in his branch literally is out on vacation. And he practically is running solo all day long, all by himself. He said to me, Rich, I'm sorry I'm not going to make it to the Networking Today meeting, but I'm the only one here. So vacations, he's not on vacation, but everyone that he works with is on vacation. So he's in a situation where he couldn't show up, right? So people are out, and your meeting will experience a lull in attendance during the summer months because of vacations, because of the kids. For whatever reason, people are maybe not on vacation. They're just taking the day off, I don't know, whatever the reason is. Okay. It's natural. It's just like what happens during Christmas and New Year's. We experience a slump. So the contest is being put in place just to help create a little energy for you. So use it. It's very powerful. I've used it. I will use it. And I'm telling you, I am saying to you to do exactly what I have done and that I know works, but we all have to use it. We all have to get involved in using it. So that's that. All right. With no further ado, I want to step into introducing Lynette. Lynette Slawinski is our meeting leader moment today. And guys, let me just set the table a little bit. Lynette is one of our newer, she's one of our newer meeting leaders. However, Lynette is amazing. Lynette is growing a meeting in an all new area, pretty much all by herself. And when she started with 2 other meeting leaders, and she's the lone survivor. Lynette has really developed a fantastic meeting in spite of everything, all the odds that have been against her. So with no further ado, Lynette, I hope you're on the line. Did you make it?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, ma'am, I can.
Perfect.
Lynette, with no further ado, I want to turn it over to you as your peers are sitting on the edge of their seat just waiting to hear what fabulous tips you have to help them grow their meeting location. The floor is yours, my dear.
Sure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You took away half my talk. No, I'm just kidding. I do really agree. We actually, in Michigan, we started out and we were like lone wolves out here. There were actually 3 groups in Michigan at the time I started last year. And when I started, I didn't realize that I should maybe connect with those other 2 groups. And so that is something that I actually encourage people to do now is if you have other groups in your area, go visit their groups, go check out what they're doing, go see it for yourself. We started just really having an idea to start a group. There were 3 of us, and we were all in the same business.
Hey, Lynette, I'm sorry I had to interrupt you. You're breaking up pretty good. So I'm not sure if you're on a Bluetooth or not, but I thought I would just let you know. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll try to get through this, and then if it gets any worse, Lynette, we may need to postpone. But let's keep trying. But I just want to let you know.
How do I switch to my phone audio?
So have you called in, Lynette? Okay. Guys, I think we may have lost Lynette there. I hope she's able to call back in and get back online with us. Guys, here's one of the things I wanted to say right after, and we'll work hard to get Lynette back on, believe me, okay, and pick up. But here's one of the things I was going to say. We need to be very diligent about asking our members to pay. One of the most difficult things I find about running a meeting is, honestly, guys, asking people to pay for their memberships. I don't know why I find it difficult, but I do. And because it's like, to me, people should already know to pay to join, but they don't. But you rob them if you don't ask them to pay to join, okay? All right, I think we might have Lynette back on. Let me share the screen once again and rejoin here. One sec, everybody. Unmute Lynette. All right, Lynette, are you back with us? Lynette, are you here? Boy, I sure am sorry, everybody. Let's see if Lynette goes ahead and is able to call in or to get on. But guys, what I was saying is you have to you have to ask your members to pay. If you don't ask your members to pay, you rob them of the value experience. Okay. And one of the ways that if you're a new meeting, and by the way, Lynette, if you're back on, just interrupt me if you come back on, okay? But all you got to do is call in to the 800 number, enter in the PIN on your phone, and we should be able to hear you a lot better. I hope you know how to do that. It's in the Google Calendar, and it's in the email also that I sent out, so if you can find that real quick. But anyway, guys, what I was going to say is one of the things that I encourage new meeting leaders to do and existing meeting leaders, okay, one of the fastest ways to grow is to ask members, non-paying members, to begin paying. I'm not speaking of charities. I'm speaking of those members, those people that are showing up, but they're not yet joined. You say, Rich, I don't know how to discover whether or not they're members or not. Well, all you have to do is open up your app, the NTI app on your phone or on your computer, your laptop, your iPad, your tablet. Go to the directory, search for that person's name, and if you don't know their name, just ask for their card before the meeting starts. If you don't ask for it before the meeting starts, ask for it at the break, and then just catch them afterward or call them afterward and say, hey, I'm just wondering, did you plan on joining us, or do you plan on just continuing to get the milk for free? Just wondering, and make it jovial, make it happy, don't say it necessarily in any kind of angry tone or anything like that. Ask them how they're doing. Of course, you want to ask them that and that sort of thing. Okay. Don't be mean or anything, but ask it in a very jovial way. And here's the thing. That is one of the ways, believe it or not, that you can grow a new meeting, is asking members to pay. Okay. When they pay, they see value and they are more committed to your group when they pay for their membership. So don't let anyone, fool you on this. Don't let any visitor who's been coming several times or a non-paying, quote, member that is showing up, I'm going to use this expression, don't let them get away with that. You're robbing the rest of the group. You're robbing them of the value of paying for something they're getting value from. Okay, so make sure to do that. Okay, Lynette, one more time, are you back with us before we move on? Oh, I am so sorry. Lynette, are you here?
I think I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I was sitting there being so diligent and I was in a bad phone zone the whole time.
Well,
So
we can
am
hear
I
you much better
interrupting? Do
now.
you want to
So
bring me back in?
no, please go ahead and pick up from where you left off. Everyone is
Okay.
waiting with bated breath to hear what you have to say.
Perfect. Okay. So as I was saying, so we actually, three colleagues and we are all in the same business. So we had the idea to start three different groups and hoping that having the membership of NTI that you could visit each group interchangeably, that would actually spur on attendance and allow more people to want to join us. And as Rich mentioned, my group was the only group that survived. We had a group that was meeting at 7:30 in the morning to really kick off the day, get your networking out of the way. That group, I believe, had 0 attenders for almost 3 months. It was really, really hard to see. We had a 9 o'clock group, and that group also like 0 attenders, maybe 1 or 2 over the 3 months. And it was just really exhausting. I was a little bit more prevalent on social media. I was on Facebook, I was on Eventbrite. So I had several more visitors coming through each meeting. But still, I only had 1 member for like the first 6 months. So we were really just trying to plug along and ended up, it was probably mostly to do with the location. And it was a really nice room, but it was inside of a building that just seemed a little bit off. We were inside of a sports arena that did kids soccer groups, and there was a gym where you could join the gym and go and work out and things like that. So even though we were in the ideal room with a TV and with air conditioning and all that, the whole 9 yards, inside that building, people didn't know where we were. And so if you're wondering if your location isn't right, I would switch locations. It's better to switch locations and see what happens rather than just keep plugging along. And the other thing that we did in hindsight that I would do differently is we started without a core group of people. And so that I really feel strongly, like, if you're talking to people who are thinking about starting an NTI, encourage them to start with a few people, because having 2 or 3 people at a meeting for a couple of weeks straight, just those 2 to 3 people, is going to be a whole lot easier than just sitting in a room by yourself. And knowing that we were so far away, knowing that we couldn't have Rich come to our meeting, or when I started, Todd was actually my mentor, and he would give great advice, but there was no big push like, hey, Todd's going to be here from NTI. We were just kind of stranded on a little island trying to fight for ourselves. Looking back, I don't know if I would do it much different because I didn't know what I didn't know. But since we've started, we're going pretty strong now. We're on our 3rd location. We're actually celebrating our birthday this year. We had a really big growth spurt, interestingly enough, around Christmas time. We had a lot of people. The week before Christmas, we had 4 people join our group. So that was really kind of interesting. And in January, we had a mentor group get started because of our group. So that was really exciting as well. Use the resources that NTI provides to us. I know, Rich, you kind of talked about that during the intro today, but there's so many resources that you have. Use the slides that Rich gives us. Use the different promotions. That's kind of what pulled me through. Really just being aware that I wasn't alone on an island. I had this thing called NTI kind of supporting me and encouraging me. And then, Rich, I'm not sure exactly when you did it. I feel like it was probably in October. You did a talk called Cool Kids, and I think that's still online somewhere if I'm correct. If you've not heard the Cool Kids talk, go back and listen to that. When I was inviting people, I was inviting people that would be in my industry that I could give referrals to. I was hesitant to ask everyone because I wanted it to be an ideal group or a perfect group. Forget that stuff. In hindsight, I would ask everyone. Interestingly, one of the people that came in December, she was somebody that I've known for a really long time. It never even occurred to me to ask her to join and to be a member of my group. She actually kind of invited herself. And when I asked her, what did you take away? What did you like about it? What would you change? How could you help me grow this meeting? That was my mentor group getting started. She said, Lynette, I want to start my own. Help me do this, because I think it's a great concept and I want to see more of them. And so I was kind of encouraged, but also a little bit down on myself because I hadn't asked her sooner. So that was a really interesting thought that I had in that December timeframe. But the Cool Kids talk, the other thing that came from it is I asked one of my members to be part of my leadership team, and her job was to find the business spotlight speakers for the week. It was me talking about NTI a whole lot in the beginning, every 20-minute presentation. Because we had so few members, I talked about networking, or I talked about NTI and why it's so great. So every visitor got a really good taste of NTI, but there was no way to really highlight a business because I only had one member. And so when I brought on Stephanie is the leader that I first asked to join me in this fight. She said, how about I find you people? And in the beginning, we kind of went outside the NTI rules and we were asking people who were not members to be a guest. And a couple of them brought a few people to hear them do their presentation, and that's where our membership took off. Now, we encouraged the 20-minute presenters to join the group, and wasn't this great? We gave you a free 20 minutes to highlight your business. But I was reflecting on it the other day, and I don't think any single one of those people actually joined the group. It was their guests. Their guests actually joined the group. And so, you know, even though that was kind of outside the box, again, Todd, as my mentor, was like, I don't know if I would do that if I were you. But we didn't really have any other choice. It was me talking about NTI, me talking about Primerica, or my other member talking about her mortgage business. When Stephanie jumped on board, she actually has 2 businesses. So it's a little bit of a different dynamic there. And so we were just kind of plugging along. And as soon as we started that inviting process is when we really took off. And then the other thing that I really want to talk about is we are actually having a birthday party. We are having a birthday party. We're going to do a Kool-Aid party. Do those things that NTI is encouraging us to do, because there's going to be fun in them. You as a leader, even Rich just said, you as a leader, you need to think that it's fun, even though you might not. And, you know, so we latched onto the birthday party. We actually have a charity in our group. She's a really faithful attender. She's grown a lot as a spokesperson for their nonprofit. And so as soon as we heard the birthday party idea, we immediately gravitated towards it. It might be on a smaller scale, but that's okay. You know, we're beta testing some things out, and I think that's okay. And then the Kool-Aid party, I'm not going to hide the truth. I was a little bit hesitant. I didn't want to do it. But one of my members heard the idea and she ran with it. She was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Why haven't we had this party sooner? So it just kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, okay, I wasn't excited about it, but somebody else is. And so with all that phone confusion, I don't know if I've been on for 10 minutes, but you know, I want to keep encouraging you guys and keep fighting the good fight. People need us, and people need to grow their businesses. And I think NTI is a perfect tool to go ahead and let them do that, and allow people to grow through their relationships. And, you know, I just had a meeting this morning with another set of people that are thinking about starting another group in our area. So you just got to keep going, because people need us, and I think it's a great resource.
Lynette, thank you. And yes, we are pushing up against the clock, but very, very valuable tips for everyone, you know, on today's call. But and I'm sorry we had the phone difficulty, but
yeah, sorry about that.
I mean, there's just so much value to me in what you just shared, and I really appreciate you coming on and being willing to share. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Lynette, I'm going to go ahead and mute your line again, but ladies and gentlemen, you know, you're hearing it from your peers. You're hearing it from other people doing it across the country. You're hearing Lynette. I remember several calls that Lynette and I had with Lynette saying, Rich, this ain't going so good. You know, what do we do? And Lynette brought up the cool kids. Guys, I was at a meeting this morning that is struggling with a relaunch. I explained to this new meeting leader that is taking over from another meeting leader that you have to align your cool kids. You cannot do it by yourself. You can't. You cannot do it by yourself. And the best way to do that is with the cool kids, okay, what Lynette brought up. So I'm not going to, for sake of time, I want to move on with a couple more things. We'll wrap it up very quickly here today. But man, I from the deepest part of my heart, the reason why I've asked, and by the way, I talk a little bit, okay? I talk a little bit with every meeting leader that comes on. But if you guys will go back in your mind to what Mark Williams said, go back in your mind what, Anna Alt said on her call. Go back in your mind to what Tara Peterson said on her call. Go back in your mind. By the way, Tara Peterson's recording is on the website for you to go take a listen to. And how to grow your meeting. We took 20 minutes of that call and put it out there so that we could listen to it, because peers, Networking Today meeting leaders are doing it across the country. They're doing what we've always said could be done, and you can do it too. If you're struggling in your meeting in any regard, or if you are not struggling and you're succeeding, then spread it to others. Help encourage that growth to others. You will be glad that you did it. I will be glad that you did it. All of our members will be glad that you did it. It's a way for us to grow. Now, I'm going to move on just for sake of time. And what I want to do is I want to bring on a very good friend of mine, Mark Phillips. Let me see here. Mark, are you on the line with us, my friend?
Yes, I am, sir.
All right, Mark Phillips.
Can you hear me, Rich?
Yes, I can hear you. I had the pleasure, everyone, of meeting Mark Phillips. I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. I don't know, maybe a year. I can't remember exactly. Mark, we've interviewed Mark on the podcast. Mark has been in the Royal Marines. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mark.
Correct.
Is a Royal Marine. I don't know exactly, I think maybe, once a Marine, always a Marine, I think maybe. But anyway, he's attractive, he's smart, and he works for an amazing organization called Cashback World. Now, Mark, I've asked Mark to come on the call today because I'm asking all of our Networking Today meeting leaders to promote Cashback World because it helps Networking Today. Okay? Do you have to do this? Is it mandatory to do it? Well, guys, I don't make hardly anything mandatory, but this is something that I think is very attractive to all of our members and a way for our members to save money, to make money, and to help Networking Today out at the same exact time. It's a very easy promotion. Mark, we're at limited time because we did have some phone technical difficulties with Lynette, but my apologies for this, but I need to ask you to rush a little bit. Could you give everyone an introduction to Cashback World and the app that will help all of our members save money and in turn help Networking Today as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Rich, for the introduction. I did meet Rich 6 months ago at the Thanksgiving, well, probably a little more than that, the Thanksgiving event. And it's all been rock and roll since then. We've come a long way in a short time, and we're doing great things. I'm honored to be on the event committee. I've been on the radio with Rich, all kinds of great things, and I've met some amazing people at NTI. So Cashback World, let's give you the quick once over with this company. This company started in 2003. They decided to create one loyalty/reward card for the entire world for almost everywhere you already shop. So instead of you having to have 1,000 reward cards for 1,000 different stores, although we only probably shop in 10, if we really look at how we shop and our habits, this company changed the game by allowing business owners to also create a revenue stream when their customers are not only shopping in their own stores, but when they walk out the door and go to one of any of those logos you see on the screen right now, plus over 400,000 other store and 12,000 online store locations, they get paid. So we changed the game. Traditional reward programs, you can only make money if the customer continues to come back to you and you give them a gift. There's never, ever been a company that has created a system where a business owner can get paid when their customers are shopping in other stores. So how does this connect with NTI? NTI has graciously decided to adopt our program, whereby very soon for your $25 membership fee, which as we all know, is an extremely low fee for the return that we get. Talk about return on investment. I've never seen as much come back from a $25 monthly fee, but you're also now going to get cash back for your $25 fee, which is very gracious of Rich to again be giving back to the people that mean the most to him, which are his members. It'll also benefit NTI Cares. So a portion of everything that is made when you are out there shopping at Walmart, going to Home Depot, and all the places you already go to, you will just use our app and NTI Cares will get paid, and that will support our charities with a great revenue stream just by doing what you already do. So I have an entire website that I've put together whereby anyone that's interested to learn how to use it, I've got a 2-minute video, shows you how to use the app. You can use that QR code that you see on the screen. You just need to open the, if you have an iPhone, you need to open your camera, just point it at that QR code and it will pick up that link without you taking a photograph or anything else, and you just register yourself there and then contact me at 305-962-3828. Again, 305-962-3828. You can find my information on the directory and I will show you a video on how to use it, and everyone will benefit. You will save up to 20 to 25% on your annual shopping expenses, which is money you're just throwing to the wind right now. So we're giving you the opportunity to not only save money, support NTI Cares and NTI, and I'm here to help you whenever you need it. Rich.
Hey, Mark, absolutely fantastic job. Thank you for the introduction to Cashback World. Thank you for talking about how it helps NTI Cares as well, and what it does for our members. Now, just so everybody hears on the call, it won't be long, and Networking Today is also going to be a merchant. How do I want to say that, Mark? A vendor.
You will be a business. Yeah, you will be one of our businesses. You're a business merchant that will be featured on our global app and website.
So like you guys are seeing Panera or eBay or Best Buy or Whole Foods or Kroger, you're going to see Networking Today. And what that will do is all of the hundreds and hundreds, thousands of members of the Cashback World app around the world are going to be exposed to Networking Today and introduced to Networking Today. There is no other networking organizations that I know of or I'm familiar with that are on the Cashback World app. So this will give Networking Today a tremendous amount of exposure as we spread the web, as we share the net, if you will, of the Cashback World. So what I'm asking everybody to do is help promote this. Your members will save money. They will be able to get their NTI membership. They will be able to get cash back in their wallet, literally in their bank account, for buying their Networking Today membership. This is an absolute no-brainer that I want every single meeting leader to get on board, to support, and to help promote, okay? I appreciate you guys so much. Mark, thank you for coming on. This won't be the last one that we'll have you on, I promise, because more NTI meeting leaders need to know what this can do for their members. So thank you, Mark. I appreciate it so much.
Rich, could I just say one last thing? It'll take me 10 seconds.
Of course.
All right, just everyone that's listening, it's very important that you use the QR code that you're seeing on the screen or the link. Now, I can text that link to you. Rich could text that link to you. Although please can't reach out to me first. Rich is up to his eyeballs in 1,000 things at once, because that will be the only way you will be connected to NTI. If you go to their website and register there, then you will not be connected to us and we will not benefit whatsoever. And that will be a shame, because, you know, we need your support. And of course, I'm here to support you on everything that you do with that system to make sure you maximize your benefits.
And by the way, guys, you know, let me just say that this is not something that we're asking you to go sell. We're not asking you to be cashback representatives, although some of you may have interest in doing that. What we're saying is if you help our members get exposure to the app, it benefits everybody. Now, people are going to get exposed to the Cashback World app with or without us. But if you do it, as Mark was just saying, through this specific link, not only do they still get the same great savings, but it helps NTI. So it's a matter of, we would grossly, terribly, extremely appreciate your efforts in getting people linked up to the Cashback World app through the NTI link. Okay, that's what we're asking of all of our meeting leaders to help us do, and it helps our members save. And when other members want to join, you can say, download the Cashback World app right here, you know, and get cash back when you join Networking Today. That's coming soon. Like, we want to promote this because it is good for our members, but we want to promote this specific QR code and this specific web link, because not only will it be good for the members, then it is also good for us, and, you know, no harm, no foul. And so that's how that works.
And the best thing of all, it's free.
Free, 100% free. Mark, thank you very much. We got to get ready to close out today's call, but thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to mute your line and just wrap up for everybody that is still on. We'll wrap it up very, very quickly. Don't forget that knowledge is power. We had Derek Furlow on the call a couple weeks ago. The man is driven. The man is knowledgeable. The man is skilled. He's taken what he's learned in his athletic career, and he's transferred that over to what's next in sports, life, and business, how to transition like a champion. I highly, highly, highly encourage you to read this book. It is that good. Get your hands on it. I believe it'll have a positive impact in your life. Our next call is July the 9th from 12:30 to 1:30 Eastern. Make sure all your information is correct on the website, the app, Facebook, and any other social media, including your print, your literature. If anything is not right, you got to let us know, and we'll help you fix it. That being said, guys, I'll see everyone again in 2 weeks. Thanks for letting us go a little bit long, and actually we went about 5 minutes long today. But thank you all for all that you do, and I look forward to seeing you again in just 2 short